So we've been covering on the show the border crisis that is happening, that has been happening for numerous years now, with the recent expiration of Title 42. And it's been fascinating to watch the left's evolution because I was watching a video from Chicago where Chicago residents were being told, you've got all of these lovely sanctuary cities. And they said, you Republicans are not compassionate. You don't care about people. We do. That's why we're a sanctuary city. And so you see all of these sanctuary cities saying, hey, we're going to bring all these illegal immigrants in. And Chicago residents were like, the hell you are. We don't want them. Well, New York City has been one of those sanctuary cities that has been working very hard and using very flowery language to say that we welcome all people. That's not going really well in New York City. So Mayor Eric Adams has actually signed an emergency executive order suspending the city's right to shelter rules that immediately find private rooms for asylum seekers. So it turns out he doesn't really want to be a sanctuary city anymore because, as El Paso could tell him, there just isn't enough room. So I want to play Mayor Adams actually blaming Joe Biden for this crisis in New York City. Watch.
Where the heck is the President of the United States?
That is a good question, and I think we all should be asking, why is this happening to a city that was turning itself around and will continue to do so? This should not be happening to New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, and the other big northern cities, and really it should not be happening to El Paso or Brownsville, Texas. No city should be carrying this burden. It's a national problem, and it needs a national solution.
Fascinating how quickly they changed their tune. I can't believe the racism, bigotry, xenophobia coming from that mayor's mouth, that he doesn't want to be compassionate and accept these people. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
It sounds like white supremacy to me.
You're right. You're right.
Sad.
You're right. Wow.
Racist.
Can't believe it.
All of them.
I think he's going to be the next Patriot Front member.
Does he work for the FBI?
I think that's a requirement of being a Patriot Front member.
No, so. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, again, it's the hypocrisy, right? It's the same thing what happened at Martha's Vineyard. It's, as long as it's over there, as long as it's affecting, the people that we don't like, like the people down south, then that's okay. And even in California, we had it, because, us both being refugees from California, it's just unsustainable.
Yeah. I thought you looked familiar.
Yeah.
I saw you somewhere.
Yeah, so, everyone is completely not shocked by the fact that they're hypocrites. That's all. And I love how he goes, we were just turning it around. I'm like...
Yeah, were you?
we were just about to make New York a beautiful, crime-free city. Okay, let's get into something controversial here. What's very interesting to me about this is if you ask people, when you talk about reparations or immigration, what percentage of Californians are Black Americans? And the answer is between 5 and 7%, 7% max. And so if you are a Black American in California, in, say, Southern California, and you live in Compton, which is now 70% Hispanic, right? I mean, you really feel all of a sudden like you're a minority in a place where you were once the majority in many of these places. So that's obviously been a source of friction over the course of the last decades. And when you look at immigration now, you see a number of Black Americans. The example you gave of Chicago is a fascinating video. If you haven't seen it, you should look it up online, where they're saying, look, we don't have resources for our people here in our schools, and you're going to bring these people in. And of course, many of us are, yes, but this is something that the left generally hides. Of course, they don't really care what these people think. And you can see the response to the mayor. That's coming out of self-interest. I mean, he knows how upset his own community is, as well as the rest of New Yorkers, about this going on. So it's very interesting to see that sort of tension, right? And you have to ask yourself, California is a great example. Most Californians, the majority is 40% Hispanic, and then it goes to 56% when you add in Asian-ish, folks. And you look at that and you say, when have we ever polled these people about what they think about reparations?
Yeah.
Or what they think about illegal immigration, right? And that is changing as the demographics change. So I find it interesting. I mean, I don't know if anything will come of it, but it definitely is a sign when you have the mayor of New York saying we're not a sanctuary city anymore, and where the hell's the president? That something is going on that's serious. Again, as you pointed out in the beginning, what will actually happen, though, because millions of people are still streaming in, but it is an interesting development.
Well, I mean, I think a possibility of what might happen is, look, maybe this is a reach here, but these ramifications are going to be felt for a very long time, and you have to wonder how many people on the left might be a little bit red-pilled by, watching all of this happen under Joe Biden, by watching the Democrats continue to carry water and claim that everything's fine when their own two eyeballs are telling them that it's not, right? And then perhaps go like, well, this is unsustainable. I can't vote for the party of open borders. But maybe I'm just...
Well, listen, the other thing that people don't like to talk about is the majority of people that come up here, the first or second generation, actually conservatives. They end up going, hang on a minute, if you go down and work with speak to the Border Patrol, a lot of them are Hispanics that are like, hang on a second, what is going on? And by the way, they see what's happening to those people that are coming across. So it is true that they're being, they want to get into the country. They are being exploited. That 8-year-old that got caught with, which, is just unbelievable, like 64 different types of DNA in her body. How is that compassionate?
Right.
Like, that is not compassionate. There comes a point where you have to say, hang on a second, this has to stop, right? So again, I think people are getting red-pilled because it's not, we're not living in this, idealistic world. When you live in something where you are not literally getting affected by it, right, which is the further north you go, the less they're getting affected. Well, guess what? Things are filling up, right? And people are going to other places. They're moving out and they go, oh, Sanctuary City, I'm actually going to go there. Well, now this is what you get, right? This is what you get. You said it, you got it. Now you got to deal with it.
Right.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.